And good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. It's halfway through the week. You made it. This is Borderline Banter. Let's get the show started. As always, I'm Mike. Most of you know that by now. And pushing the buttons tonight, it's Dustin. Dustin, what's going on?
Hey everyone, how's it going, Mike?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. How was your day?
It's been a pretty chill day. I had not much going on,
No.
but ready to banter.
Sweet,
Stored it
sweet.
all up for the banter, and we've got a returning third host with us tonight. Jace, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. Ready to banter myself. Had ramen tonight. That's always a good night. And by
Oh,
ramen,
Yeah.
I don't mean like the instant ramen. I mean like the
Real
good
ramen.
kind you get from a restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've been trying to find a good one here in Colorado, but
This
it's
one's
been a
mid,
little unsuccessful.
but mid ramen is still good. So
What does mid mean?
mid means that it's
Medium.
medium.
Okay.
It's not like didn't blow expectations by any means. It's very far from it. But it wasn't like unedible.
But
Yeah,
like
well, that's
some subtle things could like improve it a lot. Like if the sauce was better, and if they had it in the sauce when delivered,
If it was
Did you
two
have
little things, and it could be amazing.
Did
if
you
the
have an
broth
egg
was
in
a little
it?
better. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
egg, yeah.
egg in
It
it.
had, it had all the things. It had like a fish thing in it too.
Oh, cool.
A Naruto.
Yep.
You heard of that, Mike?
No, I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't eat much.
That's what they named that show after. They made a show called Naruto. They named it after that.
Huh.
The main character, eats ramen, so
He does. He eats
that's
a
how
lot.
they did it.
But yeah,
I know these things.
Ah, sweet. Well,
So let's jump into the first story.
we definitely should. What do we have there?
All right,
Actually, you know
let's
what?
jump right in.
Before we jump in, if you're watching later on, and even if you're watching out, if you haven't followed, please click that follow button. Each follow helps us grow, and the more we grow, the better the shows can get. Also, if you're watching on YouTube later on, we do live shows 3 times a week, Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. GMT, Friday at 7:30 p.m. GMT. You can watch us live at kick.com/borderline_banter. Of course, I'll have that all on the website. But yes, let's get started first. Dustin, take it away.
All right, from CNN.com, we've got MrBeast builds 100 wells in Africa, attracting praise and some criticism. Wait.
Okay, what?
What criticism can they have about 100?
Yeah, how is this bad?
No,
Are wells good?
But like that's if you think about it, like how could he do it? Haven't been trying to get water to Africa for forever now. Haven't we been sending millions of dollars? I'm not honestly sure. I'm pretty sure we've been sending money there, but.
Well, I guess that's a good question. Sort of a question. I guess I'm going to make it a question. He's building the wells, but do they have to fill the wells with water? Like Mike says,
Don't you
water
drill
there.
down to the? I guess they can fill them, but don't maybe the drill? Maybe the drill till they found water.
Let's read on.
Yeah.
or do they go to the groundwater?
Yeah, exactly, right?
All right. Well, here's him. He doesn't look very happy about it.
In his latest YouTube video, MrBeast traveled across Africa to build wells.
Okay. All right.
Some Kenyan activists and journalists said he spotlighted the failures of the Kenyan government, while MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, anticipates that he will be cancelled following the reaction. The new wells will provide clean drinking water for up to 500,000 people in Cameroon, Kenya, Somalia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe, Donaldson said. While the accompanying fundraiser to support local water aid organizations has raised more than 300,000 by Monday morning.
Okay, so the Kenyan government should feel ashamed if they can't do it after all the money that they get every year.
There might be reasons
because it's going into politicians' pockets. That's the reason. And then one guy comes along, not just one guy, of course. It was his whole team and not just him.
But
so have either of you watched this video yet?
I haven't.
No.
I haven't either. So just, full transparency.
Yeah.
We haven't
no
watched
spoilers.
Yet, but I'm probably going to.
Yeah, we definitely will. Probably later on.
Like I watched the one where he, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, cured blind people. That's not the right way to say it.
I think I saw that, but I was thinking that was clickbait. But
he brought bikes to Kenyan schools and supplies and things like that.
And know what?
He donated bikes to a village in Zimbabwe.
So he's actually a genuinely good person. He's literally.
So he just put a whole bunch of other stuff with him when he did this.
Prominent activist Boniface Mwangi contrasted Donaldson's actions with those of the Kenyan government, saying that we are a shameful, horrible country, a begging nation governed by millionaires. So they're mad about the help. He added on X, formerly known as Twitter, every 5 years we give newly elected members of parliament, senators, SH5 million car grant. I don't know what that means. About $33,000. Fuel those cars every month, but we have no money to drill boreholes for our people. Similarly, freelance journalist Ferdinand Amandi lauded Donaldson's efforts, but said it's embarrassing that a YouTuber jetted into Kenya on a charity tour to perform tasks. So they feel like they're being paraded as a circus, basically.
Well, right, but who's going to cancel MrBeast over this?
No one.
No, I'm not. Yeah, because he literally is doing something that these greedy people don't care about. They don't care. They just want the money. That's like most countries anyway. But they're embarrassed because they knew they can do it, but they're rather lining their pockets with gold, you know?
So this founder of Face Africa, I can't see her name anymore, but Kappa Jones says, I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue to work because of funding, awareness, and advocacy all take work. Overnight, this person comes along, and who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all of the attention. It's kind of frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world is. So that's not necessarily a slap at him, though. That's a slap at society, which is true.
Now, this next thing, though, she says, the issue is sustainability. It's one thing to go in and install the well, and it's another thing to go back 3, 4, or 5 years from now and make sure it's still functional. But, I mean, kind of he's going to read this and be like, oh, okay, and do that, probably, let's go right? Back, yeah. He'll just do that, yeah.
And you know what? Okay, still, what an asshole, hey? He fed a village for 3 years, you know?
60% of wells are broken and people go back to drinking from creek because there's no infrastructure put in place to maintenance and repair. She hoped Donaldson's well building effort includes this infrastructure. So she doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know for sure what he's got in mind. Yeah.
She's embarrassed because she could have done more, though, and they didn't.
And she's just clawing at like, oh, well, if he doesn't do this, it'll be pie on his face. Like, well, but what if he doesn't?
But then he says, knows I'm going to get canceled because I uploaded a video helping people and to be 100% clear, I don't care. Which is how he should feel.
I don't see any canceling coming about because that would require a bunch of people to think it was bad, and I just don't see that.
And he's the biggest YouTuber, I believe, isn't he? Is he not? Not one of the biggest ones. Like he's.
I mean, he's a very big YouTuber. Yes, I don't know if he is the biggest still, but he either is or was at some point in time.
And he's very. I know. Even if he's doing this to make a video, at least he's
I don't know. That's. Skibidi Bebop toilet, pretty freaking huge.
So they're saying it's perpetuating a stereotype that Africa needs handouts.
Well, I mean, they clearly do, because why are there people starving then?
Why are there broken wells?
Why are there broken wells, right?
Do you not?
Like, I mess around with scammers lots, and I ended up talking to them, and I usually, after I call them out, I try to talk to them and see why they're doing it. A lot of them come from Kenya area. And they tell me that they can't do it because there's no jobs, and the jobs that are there are shitty.
This is something I've actually heard MrBeast talk about before. Is that he also thinks it's fucked up that people have to get help from him. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's not how it should work, but
if he has that ability, he's gonna do it. So
exactly right. Like, yeah, we shouldn't like almost what Dustin and I were talking about on Monday is like we should make enough money where we like. You shouldn't need the help. You shouldn't need that help handout, you know? Like, but if someone's going to give it, you can't blame them for giving it.
Right.
Right. It's a Band-Aid solution. It's not getting to the root cause, but I mean, who am I going to argue with something that at least helps someone? There's so much crap in this world that hurts everyone. It hurts people. Like, you can't argue about the help.
The government there has been horrible to its people forever. They don't care. They're not that, like,
are you saying like all of the countries in Africa? That's kind of
Kenya,
or Kenya specifically?
Kenya, because I don't know anything about their politics. Has been horrible to its people. Because I don't know anything about Kenyan politics.
I don't know any of their politics.
To some of them on a lot of those scammers are from Africa area, and I talk to them. I don't say, oh, you saw. I talk to them and ask them why, and they tell me that they don't get no help. They get nothing from the government. There's nothing out there. The jobs suck. So unless they're lying to me, and they could be, but it's always the same story.
Are there also outside forces contributing to that are outside of that government's control. Or do they really?
Then if the government can't control it, then they should accept the help. They shouldn't be mad that they're getting help. Then.
No, I don't disagree. Yeah. But it's not the government that's mad. It's this other activist who's mad that some white rich guy came in and just did all of her stuff for her without necessarily having a plan, which she just doesn't know. She just doesn't know if there's a plan or not. She didn't even ask.
I think
apparently.
she's just upset more so that she hasn't accomplished as much as he did in one day.
Right.
And that's not his fault for doing that. It's not MrBeast's fault for doing that.
No. And I think really the government corruption part comes in where they spend money on themselves or they pay themselves a salary or they, I guess, have a $33,000 car budget, which is not crazy.
A year, each?
I don't know about a year each, but it said $33,000 car budget. And then they have to pay for the gas on it, but...
That's still pretty good. I don't get a car for my work, Do you get a car for your work?
I mean, no.
Yeah.
If I need it, yes.
Actually, you do. That's true.
They will rent you one, or they'll.
If I were to need it for a permanent reason, they would also get me one.
I'm just saying, I don't know that you can.
I work for a corporation.
Boo Kenyan government when you don't know all the details. That's all I'm saying.
So, just a cursory glance at the government of Kenya. They have a direct popular vote for their president. They have a legislative branch. They have 7 different political parties.
They're very democratic.
So, I mean, you may be criticizing a specific party here. We don't. That's where I literally don't know.
I don't know.
Which one is the party in power right now? I don't know. And could one of these other ones be the answer? I mean, they've got 7 parties, and they've got a popular vote. So
now, do they have a president or do they have a prime minister? Like what?
It says president.
Okay.
Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay,
He has a deputy president, William Ruto. And then, of course, they've got things under that: cabinet, attorney general, all that craziness.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
they have a judiciary that includes a chief justice, a deputy chief justice, and a Supreme Court. This is a lot like ours. Their setup looks very similar to ours. Recent election. They just elected their president in 2022 and in 2017. So
same person.
But yeah, it's pretty sad that people are upset. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, why would you? If you guys were like, why would you be upset that someone's doing the same thing as you, but just better? When you go to them, when you just go to them like, hey, we can work together. Can we do this together now, right? We can.
Well, yeah. But I also think the worry might be the pimp my ride thing, where they come in, they put a camera on it, they say, paint your car, we're making it look all nice, putting a TV in it, and then they shut the camera down. You drive it home, and it literally falls apart.
Okay, yes, I don't think that's the case here. I could be wrong, but even if it is, he gave it to them free. They can pay. Like, maybe they should be able to try to upkeep it then, right? Like, the government should be able to afford to upkeep it if it was built for free. My opinion, but
I mean,
but MrBeast, who knows? MrBeast might send out that much money. He's like, okay, every 2 years, that send someone there and do an inspection.
He might.
We don't know.
Right.
For all she knows, he might too.
Especially when he hears this is the potential criticism. Okay, well then he would address it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if these so his other video where he had 1,000 blind people, it really does say blind. He paid for their cataract surgery. If they have follow-ups, is he going to cover those? That's the same sort of thing, like follow-ups for these surgeries, or in the case of the prosthetic limbs for amputees, what if they, have issues with that prosthetic and need a replacement?
Yeah.
Is that factored into what he did with those? Was that even part of their criticism?
Yeah, I'm sure there's stuff to ask. Who knows? But regardless, still, you can't get mad. Like, if someone comes, if you're starving and someone comes and gives you a loaf of bread but no butter, you're gonna be mad that they give you a loaf of bread?
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole group of people that's like, hey, you should let the government give that piece of bread out.
Let me give a slightly different scenario
that's horrible.
Let me give a slightly different scenario that might shed a little bit of light on how they feel about this. Let's say you need a surgery to save your life, right?
Yeah.
And you're fighting with your insurance, you're fighting with work or whatever, and you're literally just they won't cover it. Yeah. And you're gonna, die because nobody is paying for this thing. And then he comes and he says, I'll pay for that surgery, but I'm gonna get to film it. I'm gonna get to milk it for views. I'm gonna get to make all the profit off of it. I'm gonna get to do X, Y, Z, that. And then also, there's gonna be times where you feel really horrible, and I'm gonna come in with that camera, and I'm gonna expect you to be ready to smile for that camera, and blah blah blah. And like let's say that's the scenario, right? Are you happy then with that person, or do you feel a little disgusted with them?
Okay, yeah, I can see, yeah. But yeah, still, like, I don't know. What do you say, Dustin? I don't know. Like, it's hard to answer. I don't know. Sorry.
It's just one of those things where
are they doing it for the right thing, though? Like,
what if they're not? Is it still okay?
Like, now we've seen videos like that. Where we've seen videos like that
still fine.
Where the guy goes up with the camera and says, I'd like to order 500 cheeseburgers. And they're like, what, 500? He's like, yes. And he pulls out the money and pretends to hand the money. They shut the camera off and he's like, just kidding, give me 10. And then he goes around and then he
isn't like that.
himself. I know this isn't, but like, is that what maybe they're thinking? Because I don't know. Sorry,
what do you mean?
The thing is should you have to be willing to give up your privacy for content to pay for things that you desperately need? I think is really the root of the issue.
Yeah, okay.
And no, the answer is you shouldn't have to do that. Right? But there are lots of things in the world that make it.
That's not a criticism of MrBeast. That's a criticism.
That's not a criticism of MrBeast, exactly.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He can't make. That's how he can do that, though. That's how he can pay. They do this for these people, right? Like.
Right.
But what he can't do is he can't go and write up legislation that says that we're going to fix this problem legislatively. He's not an elected official.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the criticism lies at the feet of the legislators who refuse to fix these problems, just like what we're seeing with Kenya. Obviously, they don't have wells. That could have been resolved by legislation and funding
Does it say how much he spent? Does it say how much he spent?
We don't know.
Did this have a dollar amount? I don't think it did. There was this reference of 300,000, but that's something else. That's a fundraiser thing. That's not Donaldson's money. I assume in the video maybe he mentions it.
Well,
but not in this article. Right, I mean, it's. I'm curious too, just because was this a super small amount that just needed to happen? I don't know. How much does a well cost?
Himoto, how's it going?
Hey, how are you, Himoto?
I was gonna fill you in, but you've been watching, so you know. And like always, his mic's probably on mute.
How do you feel about this? If you're there.
He will be in a second, but I'm looking. Sure I can't see any price anywhere.
Oh,
okay, but I just read this.
All right,
Thanks for MrBeast project. They will now have some of the wells will be pumping 10,000 liters of water every day.
I mean, yeah, that's good. It's a lot of water. It said 500,000 people, so that's a huge number of people across 5 or 6 nations. 3, 4, 5, at least 5 it says here.
This is now.
So,
this is just
huge.
Not official, but it's saying $54 million.
Wow, he's not going to make $54 million back on that video.
Yeah.
Oh no, of course not.
He's taken a loss for this. So does that change anyone's opinion?
He gets corporate sponsorships.
That's
crazy.
true.
But maybe. Do you think 54 million?
And it might have been that other videos where he blew up school buses and shit paid for some of this, but he gets crazy ass corporate sponsorships.
Yeah,
of
course. Yeah,
that's kind of his deal.
100%. So.
Well, and this, of course, is getting a huge amount of publicity.
Yeah,
for free.
Sorry, Himoto. What were you saying? What do you think? Would you like MrBeast as a person or as a YouTuber?
Honestly, I enjoy his content. I think he does good things. Because even though he's doing it and it's giving him views or whatever, there are a lot of people who have just as much as him and wouldn't do it at all.
Yes.
Right. It's a way to look at it, and obviously, if you're one of those people that just doesn't want it to be shown, and I can see why you wouldn't want people to see that at all. It's not. It's a good and a bad to it, depending on who you're talking to, right? I'm happy that I got what I got, or that he's done something good for us. At the same time, like, did he only do it because he's going to put it up, or is it just because he's a good person and this is just an extra for him?
I don't really think I have a question about that though, because like Jay's just mentioned, he could literally just post a video of him blowing up school buses and get just as many views, and we've seen that video actually. So like, it's hard to say he's just doing it for that, because like he doesn't need to do these wells. He could just blow up another set of buses or blow up something else. Like,
oh yeah, he could pull in views no matter what he does. Really,
and so he's.
I like the hype.
In my opinion, he's choosing these philanthropic things for a good reason. I think it's good intent.
I think so as well.
And I think he's aware, just like I've mentioned on one of our episodes, XQC can do anything and people will watch. He can make anything. But I think he's got a little more awareness than XQC.
Yes.
Not just a little. He's got a lot more awareness than XQC.
Yeah. Because he like leans into like, hey, I should do maybe this sort of stuff, like building wells. And regardless of the criticism he's going to get for this, which I still don't think is going to be much.
He did a good thing at the end of the day. He did a good thing at the end of the day. Like, I don't think he's going to care that much about it.
Yeah. And well, that's literally his take was he doesn't give a damn. Didn't it say something like that? Yeah, he knows I'm going to get canceled because I uploaded a video helping people, and to be 100% clear, I don't care.
I don't care.
So he didn't care if he's canceled over doing this because he knows he was helping people. He don't care, which is a great take on his part. There's his smile, googly eye smile, ridiculous.
All right, so at least we're not canceling MrBeast.
We're not. I'm fine with him.
So what's the next article?
Is everyone? Yeah, I think we're all good on this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Humanity just witnessed its first ever space battle. Star Wars officially started. Did you guys know this happened?
No.
Was this about the shooting on some sort of rocket?
It was. And where that shooting occurred,
may be known as the first instance of a combat occurring in space, an Israeli defense system destroyed a ballistic missile above Earth's atmosphere. So that means it fired a laser from above Earth's atmosphere, or the missile was above Earth's atmosphere?
I believe they shot their missile into the missile. So they used the Israel Arrow 2 missile system to intercept and destroy a suborbital missile.
And this came up.
And it launched from Yemen?
Yemen, yep. However, it's got potential serious legal and geopolitical implications because this is potentially, international space, right? I don't know.
So they shot down an Iranian-manufactured ballistic missile using its Arrow 2 anti-missile system. Here it's reported the incident happened on Tuesday, October 31st. This is Gizmodo, by the way. With Yemen forces possibly targeting Eilat, an Israel city on the east coast of the Red Sea. The Telegraph claims the missile was intercepted and destroyed by the Karaman line. Above the Karaman line, which is at 62 miles above sea level, is widely recognized as the boundary of space. So that's where the atmosphere starts to get thin, and where that guy skydived from.
And they're saying that's the boundary of space.
Okay, so for sure, but why? But it doesn't. So they're just supposed to let the missile go towards them still?
You gotta let it come back into your country.
I know.
All previous cases involved intercepting targeting.
Your country's only 62 miles tall
for testing purposes, whereas this is the first occurrence of a missile successfully intercepted at an incoming missile from an adversary in space. McDowell, an expert on space launches, explained to Gizmodo over email. Ballistic missile defense systems generally engage threats within Earth's atmosphere, while anti-satellite tests have demonstrated higher out. Okay, so this is weird. Anyway, it sounds like they just had a missile that got high enough.
Yeah. But so they defended themselves, and now people are mad that because it was not in their jurisdiction or whatever.
Well, was it actually coming towards them or not?
It said it was heading towards the Israel city.
There's currently insufficient information above to verify the situation. Senior research of the European Space Policy Institute explained to Gizmodo in an email. That said, mid-range ballistic missiles can fly at heights well above 62 miles, and the Arrow system is considered as a de facto counter-space capability due to its nature of high-altitude interceptions. So it was designed to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the first time it's ever actually done it.
Yeah.
So Star Wars has started. officially.
It's not Space Wars.
You know?
Everyone got mad at Trump when he made the Space Force.
Houthi rebels launched this. You go back up.
Yeah, it's talking about Yemen's Houthi rebels, but then it starts talking about Israel for some reason.
Houthi forces have extensively utilized missiles and drones supplied by Iran in their ongoing conflict with an Arab coalition. Huh.
Yeah,
look up more about
that's
that.
pretty crazy, but
so they're saying that
Israel's like the 4th largest military in the world. They're gonna be able to defend themselves.
Well, it sounds like they can shoot shit in space. I think they're fine.
They can do That's pretty good, I guess. The L2 system. But yeah, that's kind of interesting that they can do that.
Yeah.
I got to be careful what you say these days on Israel and Palestine. So, but that's neat. There's technology out there like that.
Definitely neat. I don't know how I feel about the whole situation because I don't know enough about what Yemen's firing at or why they're firing.
But it wasn't Yemen. It was one of the.
It was Houthi. The Houthi rebels within Yemen, I guess. So I don't know anything about them. I know.
It's just there's dozens and dozens of terror groups everywhere, right? Like rebel groups, terror groups, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I definitely don't call every rebel group a terrorist.
Yeah, certainly not after you find out how often people are labeled terrorists for no real reason or for really nefarious
American
reasons.
Revolution was perpetrated by terrorists.
Because it's honestly a label you could put basically anywhere you want.
Yeah, I suppose, but
I mean, it's really a meaningless title at this point. 9/11 was just they overused the word. Sorry, they did it.
All right.
You can't just say every country's terrorist. It's just too much.
I didn't say the country was a terrorist. I never said Yemen was a country.
Okay, Jesus.
I didn't say you did. I said America.
I said I know nothing about these people.
America after 9/11.
Defensive. Come on.
George Bush, 8 years of that dickbag, telling us everyone's a terrorist.
Oh, for sure.
And then Obama coming in and justifying his drone bombing by saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it enough. Everyone's a terrorist. I get it. Great. They're not, though.
Depends on
so you got to look into situations and yes, this says these are terrorists. They might be. Who knows? I don't know anything about Yemen. My go-to is if I don't know, I say I don't know.
Yeah. But I didn't say, but I'm just saying that
I certainly don't lean into. Yeah, I certainly don't lean into what an article would say someone is, especially not with that that word. But anyways, don't anyone worry. The Outer Space Treaty has not been violated.
Okay, that's good.
The Outer Space Treaty technically just prohibits the placement of nuclear weapons or other weapons of mass destruction in orbit around Earth, on celestial bodies, or stationing them in outer space. So conventional weapons, not mass destruction and not nuclear. So it's fine.
I'm thinking right now. Do you remember that game where you're a globe and you have to set the distance to shoot the rocket and it goes around and you have to hit the other side?
No.
It's okay. I forget the name. Game it's a really old game, but early 90s. I'm saying. But yeah, that's
Star Wars have started.
Yeah,
it's legal.
Yeah, that's.
The Houthis might be bad. Just saying.
Yeah, could be. Could be.
All right.
If we get an article about Yemen, we'll dig into that, just like anything else, But without an article, I don't know. I got nothing. Anyone got anything more about Star Wars?
Nope.
Higher on Star Wars?
It's not real space battle.
Why is it not real?
Because it wasn't launched from space. The target was not in space. Just because its ballistic arch its apogee made it to space does not mean that it was a space battle.
Indirectly.
I don't know. I think I want to count it. I think my metrics would be different.
I'm trying to come up with a great analogy, but I can't right now. But it'll come to me in a few minutes. But
okay, if somebody shoots a missile from Europe to the United States, but it goes over an ocean, is it a naval battle?
No, but if it hits something, if something hits it in the ocean, that's the battle area.
Okay.
Okay, but we're not gonna go and fight up in space.
Right.
You don't know that.
We can actually fight. Okay.
I'm just saying I don't count it. I don't count it.
If a missile was shot from Europe to America and it was over the ocean and like a boat shot it down, yeah, that's a naval interaction.
But this wasn't a boat shooting.
That was
it down. It was something on the ground shooting it down.
It
I might call it a naval battle.
Right. This wasn't something in space shooting it down.
Yeah.
No space battle.
Okay, we're not going to agree here. We're not going.
I think the debate will have to just continue. Star Wars. Now for something totally different, but also still from Gizmodo. Sony's Legend of Zelda movie has found a writer, too.
I'm so excited.
Wait, what do you mean by two? Oh, they're making a movie and also found a writer.
Did you not know they were making a movie?
Yeah.
But they didn't even have a writer, so they want someone to write it afterwards.
Making a Zelda movie. I don't know how this is gonna work.
GPT, that's who they picked.
So here's what I'm worried about this movie is that Link is always a character that doesn't speak because you're supposed to see yourself as that character.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's canonically why they've always kept him as like a non-talking. He just reacts to everything around him with
This is accurate. That's accurate.
So I'm worried. Who the hell are they going to get to play somebody who does that? And what lines are they going to give this? Because he's literally never had lines before, ever.
Yeah, true.
I haven't played that game that much. What? But yeah, that's silly. Like, why would they? I don't know. They can't make everything into a movie. They just want. Sometimes they ruin things, you know. Like, leave things alone.
Oh, it's the Jurassic World writer.
What is all this other stuff in this
Bobby
news
Brown,
article?
what? Doing?
I don't know. This article has a whole bunch of other news in it for some reason.
Yeah. Santa Claus. Yeah, so.
Oh, this is all the entertainment news going on. Gotcha.
So yeah. I guess that sometimes we should pre-read our stories, but
because I know this is a thing, and it doesn't actually have who the writer is. It literally starts talking about Millie Bobby Brown right away.
Yeah, that's what they're
like. Wait, she's not the writer. Yeah. I know that much.
That's all. They don't know anything. That's all they know. They got a writer, which means
nothing.
Right?
That's not all we know.
Well, they said who the writer was. Go down. They said it was the Jurassic World writer.
Is that down here somewhere?
Yeah. Spoiler. Deadline for the reports that Jurassic World writer Derek Connolly will pen Nintendo's and Sony's live-action Zelda adaptation. And it's the guy who did Jurassic World and I guess Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know. I just sometimes they ruin when they turn things into movies. Like some books, I'm not even a big reader. I'm not a big reader at all. But you read the book and then you go and see the movie. It's nowhere near as good.
I thought Jurassic World was okay. It was better than a lot of the Jurassic Park sequels.
I haven't seen the newest one yet.
Here.
Were you ever a big Zelda fan there, Moto?
Not really, no.
I played it a little bit on the 64 back in the day.
He literally bought the game.
I hate CNN.com so much because of this top banner.
You bought it? What?
It's such a good game. What is wrong with you?
There.
I gotta charge my Switch up, not gonna lie. I haven't touched that in a while.
Oh my god, blow the dust off.
I really would have.
Okay. Stop scrolling. Alright, so I found a different article, one that's actually just covering that they're releasing a live action or working on a live action. Because this is the actual news. I mean, the fact that they have a writer doesn't mean a whole lot to us.
Miyamoto's kind of the one who announced it. So that makes me happy. I just hope that he's not going crazy for this one.
Yeah, so we have a quote. I have been working on a live-action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now. Famed Nintendo video game designer Shigeru Miyamoto wrote on X Tuesday. We have now officially started the development of the film with Nintendo itself heavily involved in the production. It will take time to complete. Look forward to seeing it. I don't know if I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I don't think I'll watch it. But I'm not.
Are they gonna?
I'm not a big fan of Zelda, so that's why I'm not really intrigued. And that's about it.
I will 100% watch it, and I hope I will enjoy it. I'm hoping.
So Aide is a producer who's going to also be involved with Miyamoto co-producing this. You may have seen things he's done. I guess Spider-Man, Iron Man, X-Men movies.
Again, watch
I mean, I know these movies, but I don't know that I would have recognized that name. But I mean, those are like big Hollywood-style action movies. So I guess that's what you'll get out of Zelda.
All is tapped to direct the movie, so they already have a director. So this is happening soon.
Yeah, they'll probably have it out, but it's gonna be a lot of. Like, but yeah, we'll see. It's like I'm not gonna go to theaters and watch.
I don't know. Depends what the trailer looks
It
like.
depends. Yeah, if the trailer's good enough, I would.
You can rent things from home nowadays too, though. At least so.
This is Miyamoto. He's very excited.
That's like not cool. Like there's a movie. I'm sure people like it no matter what. There's some of the worst movies I've like that everyone else hates. I like. Maybe this will be one that some people hate, but some people like.
So, did you guys watch the Super Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt?
I couldn't do it.
I didn't either.
I tried. I
didn't even watch it. Like I like at all. Like I figured I would as soon as I saw it streaming on something, and I haven't seen it streaming.
No, it's on Prime, I believe. Here in
so
Canada,
it says, it says Miyamoto produced that as well. So
yeah, did you try to watch it, Himoto?
What, Super Mario Bros? Yeah. I didn't.
No,
if I had seen it, I probably would have watched it.
I turned on for about 15 minutes. I was like, I can't do this. Mind you, I wasn't that high, so maybe you got to get super high and watch it.
Yeah,
that might be the key.
On marijuana, for the record, everybody.
A release date for additional casting news in the film has not yet been announced. So I'm looking forward to seeing who they're going to cast. Because if it's going to be another one where it's like Chris Pratt and Jack Black and all kinds of like, what the hell moments, I don't know if I'll see this one either.
Jack Black is a great
Who would you cast as Link?
I don't know.
Jack Efron?
Owen Wilson or whatever?
Oh. No.
Ganon shows up. Oh, Link, and he goes, wow.
Pete Davidson?
Yeah, Pete Davidson. Yeah.
All right. And also the same for Zelda, like, I don't know.
What's his name? Guy who was Jack Sparrow. Robert Downey. No, Frank.
Robert Depp Jr.
Yep. Robert, yeah. Is it Jr.?
Jack Sparrow
Ronnie
was
Depp.
not played by Robert Downey Jr.
What's his name? The guy just was
Dustin,
in court.
Is Johnny
Depp? Thank you.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Why are you doing that to him, Dustin?
Yeah, well,
it's Ronnie, isn't it? Ronnie Depp?
I knew I wasn't right. That's why, yeah. So
you think Johnny Depp should do it?
I was joking.
Johnny Depp? No.
He's played a lot of weird characters, so you know.
Yeah, but I thought
Nicolas Cage.
Maybe?
They gotta get who knows? Nicolas Cage, but
no.
Okay, well. I hope whoever.
What about Viggo Mortensen?
The guy that was Third Rock from the Sun, the kid from that. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
And he was in...
Robin.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I think he would be a good Link.
Yeah, I could do that.
Like he still looks young enough that, he's old enough and a good enough actor to actually play it.
But to see if they'll have him talking, because that might ruin it if he talks, right?
Macaulay Culkin.
I don't know. We'll see. Macaulay Culkin. No.
Let him grow his hair out, and I bet he could pull it off. Imagine Macaulay Culkin in a tunic.
I mean,
Am I wrong?
Should we move on to the next?
Yeah, I think we can move on. That's
we can definitely move on.
The logical point of moving on. This lets me hear. All right, we got a weird source for this next one, but it started out somewhere else.
Never heard of that.
I think Fox News actually started this article, but anyways, UFC fighter Ebanie Bridges praises her opponent Avril boobs ahead of title defense.
Okay.
What?
This is headline news stuff right here.
Okay,
apparently.
Let's see what they're talking about here.
All right, Ebanie Bridges stepping back into the ring next month in San Francisco for the first time in almost a full year.
Wow.
She's putting her IBF bantamweight title on the line against a fellow Australian, Avril Mathie.
That'd probably be a good fight.
Yeah. Mathie, like Bridges, makes content on OnlyFans to supplement her fighting career. Oh, so this is another one of these stories.
This is an advertisement. I gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Battle of the Boobs.
Advertising the event and advertising their OnlyFans.
Like, do they have one OnlyFans or do they have two OnlyFans?
I imagine
is
probably
just-
two.
The
Is there
fighting
a-
equivalent of writing sub names on
Yeah.
on yourself.
Yep, they're calling it the Battle of the Boobs, and they're predicting a way-in that breaks the internet.
I think
Is-
I rented a movie like this back in the day. I don't
And
know.
you too can have, yeah, you too can rent this movie.
Was that movie rented from a back room?
Yeah. The curtain was a little dusty, but I went through.
Battle of the Boobs. She does have good boobs too, but mine are better. I've already won.
Mine are better.
She's obviously a really good-looking woman. She does OnlyFans as well, and she's a swimwear model. What? You've already won.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, it's the same.
Like, okay, it's so weird to see them smiling in their fighting picture. Like,
yeah. Is this? This just doesn't feel like it's same as UFC, does it? I don't think it is UFC.
I'm definitely gonna be watching this. Just because
To
I wanna
make
see
sure
what
the
happens.
veracity of the headline. You know,
Yeah,
to just
that's
make
it.
sure we don't have to do a retraction.
Well, I'm an
of this story.
independent journalist now, so I gotta
Yeah.
keep an eye on.
You just
things,
gotta make
right?
sure it's a good quality match, you know?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is
I
part of
s-
why we struggled to have things from Fox News today, is because this is the kind of stuff they're running today.
Yeah,
So-
not much going on today, but.
Alright.
Anybody else want to quickly talk about that? Any guys big UFCs? I'm personally not. I do like to watch matches though. I always try to watch a few of the fights.
The only thing I don't like is
I
that
have nothing to add.
the only thing I don't like is the like commercials. Like I always just watch UFC on TV, so they just hug too much and then commercial too much.
Yeah.
Like I like seeing people beat each other up, but they just don't show that enough.
They gotta pay
So-
each other to hug each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Well, that was a quick
all
one.
right. Sometimes they're quick.
From CNN.
The National Zoo's panda program is ending after more than 50 years as China looks elsewhere.
Yep.
Oh no!
Thanks a lot,
pandas.
Joe Biden.
Pandas. We
Yeah.
lost. We had pandas here for a while, but we lost them too.
Did China ask for them back?
Yeah, maybe.
So, the national zoos, like which national zoo? Who's
America.
national zoo?
What is the National Zoo? I don't
Oh,
know.
in Washington,
The
D.C.
Smithsonian National Zoo in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
got-
China asked for them back.
3 giant pandas left their enclosure. Departed on a plane back to China on Wednesday,
Aw.
marking more than 50 years of Chinese pandas being housed at the zoo. They had names: Tian Tian, Mei Jiang,
but if they were born in America,
I give up.
they're-
I can't do this.
Okay, but if they were pandas were born in America, aren't they
That's
American?
probably close. Yeah.
That's not very fair. Like, that's not very fair. to
Well,
pandas.
wait. Are they saying these bears were born here? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
pandas, do they live 50 years? That seems pretty excessive.
Well, they also have a
Yes.
youngest cub, so
Yes.
you know.
So that means that cub was born here, and that means that cub is American.
So apparently, this has been called panda diplomacy, as if we were
Hmm.
like somehow brokering peace by capturing their animals and putting them in a zoo.
That's so weird.
I'm personally not a big fan of zoos anyway, but
Zoo staff called it a hiatus, and if their 5-decade wildly popular panda program, Chinese officials have yet to say whether it will continue. And with relations between the two superpowers in constant state of flux. So it's because we're mad at China. Is that
oh,
that
so
what
this
is
this is because World War III is about to start. They're taking their pandas
No.
back.
The
That's
panda's
it.
departure from National Zoo leaves Atlanta as the only other U.S. zoo to feature pandas from China, and not for much longer. The contracts for Atlanta's 4 bears expire next year, with no word of extensions.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they're taking.
So
all
if
their
you're an
stuff back.
American and you want to see a panda from China,
Well, why
it's kind of hard.
are we trying to like breed them, or is it that like we're
Well,
Nixon
really
do that.
did
just
it.
like the zoo?
They do that.
Nixon
in a lot of
did it.
countries. We had a program
That
like
makes
that here
me
in
not
Canada
want
too.
it.
Like we've all had there's all programs just so people can see different animals from around the world, right?
Here's
But-
Mao Zedong and Richard Nixon agreeing to share pandas.
Huh.
And they made this agreement in 1972.
That's so weird.
I just feel bad for the pandas, you know.
So Chairman Mao Zedong's government gave 2 giant pandas to the United States in a sign of warming bilateral ties after decades of diplomatic deep freeze. I don't know. I'm kind of anti-zoo to begin with.
Me too. Me too. I'm not a bit like I haven't gone to a zoo since I was a child. Not fair. But it's still that was their home. You know, now they're just gonna go to in China.
I mean, I'm for the wildlife refugees or anyway, the wildlife refuge centers where they are actually taking care of animals that can't be released into the wild, or actually just helping wild animals get back to the wild. Like, I feel like that's fine, but then zoos are
they pay people and they come by and look at them, right? And
yeah,
how would you feel? Sat in a cage all day and then had kids. Hey.
Yeah.
Well, also this day and age, cameras and the internet exist. We don't.
Well, I mean, look at this. This photo right here is what you're describing. Look at this. There's just
but see,
awkward room full of humans looking at an animal.
You've all seen pictures of the Northern Lights, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever? Okay, maybe you, Moto, but that was taken on 420, by the way. Sorry. I get distracted easy. But have you ever seen the Northern Lights in person? You might not see them where you are, but
no, not where I am, but I travel.
No, but anyway, but any of you, have you ever seen the Northern Lights in person?
I guess not.
This lady's face.
It's I know she's not, but it is a you can't. A picture doesn't describe actually seeing the sky move and green, and it's amazing. The photos, videos can't So I get that concept, but I still don't like the idea of having people come and stare at animals, and it's not it's true. The pandas don't belong over here. They're not from here. Right? They can't. Yeah. It's not. That sounds horrible, but they're not. But
well, what if they want to stay?
But they don't. They have different foods. They need special foods like bamboo and stuff. That's not naturally grown.
Yeah, we got bamboo.
Not naturally grown here, right?
Look, he's got some in that pen. Look at him back there. He's got bamboo.
It's not, but yeah.
And look how much fun Pat Nixon's having.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, look!
Really depressing.
Everybody look, put this panda in this
whole thing looks very depressing.
Room with nothing in it.
Yeah.
And then literally that lady laughing, it sums up everything I hate about zoos.
Bro. $500,000 a year.
Yeah, that's...
No, agreements between China and the U.S. zoos stipulate that Beijing owns the pandas and any of their offsprings. Right there, boom. Gotcha. It's in the contract. And they require payment, quote, for the conservation of giant pandas in China. So the National Zoo has paid $500,000 a year.
You know what?
Which totals more than $16 million since the start of the program, I guess.
I would have hid one of the babies and not told them.
They're adorable now.
I want a baby panda. You know? I like a big panda. You know, if you're friends with them, they'll hopefully won't eat you. You know.
Oh, at the height of the program, there were 15 pandas at one time. But in the past decade, the numbers have dropped, coinciding with worsening U.S.-China relations. So we should really just look at the panda scale to determine our relationship with China, basically. You know, on a scale of 1 to 15, what's our panda number? 0, apparently. We're sending them back.
Videos surfaced on Chinese social media claiming pandas returning from Memphis Zoo were being abused. Partially
we still got the 4.
Chinese state media, the claims went viral. Chinese doctors defended the zoo's treatment of the pandas, confirming that the giant panda named Yaya was suffering from a skin disease but was in good health. But some in China still see it as a symbol of American bullying and oppression of China, and others highlight countries such as Russia, which also hosts the animals, as a place where pandas are treated well.
Oh.
Well,
seems kind of weird.
So why America can't have nice things.
So by the end of 2024, we may not have pandas in our zoos anymore.
Well, yeah, especially those 4 in Georgia. If they don't renew that contract, I think
they're not going to renew that.
They need to, or our relationship with China ends.
No,
they have to.
This
diplomacy depends on it.
No, it doesn't.
China wants us. China doesn't want America to succeed.
It's coinciding.
Do you like Richard Nixon?
No.
Then.
Yeah.
So anyway.
For the time being, you can come to Mexico, I guess. They've got a panda.
How many Do any of you guys have like actually like any wild animals around you? Like you can, like I got coyotes and we got elk and moose coming through our.
Oh, there's
cats.
bears.
There's bears too, but they're not right here. And they're not panda bears.
I mean, they're not as cute as those bears, but
yeah, they're.
Oh, as our panda numbers are going down, just in 2019, Russia received a pair of pandas. Xi Jinping stood there with Vladimir Putin as they welcome the bears. They're going plus 2 bears in Russia.
Yeah.
And we're minus how many?
Qatar.
Qatar's plus 1 panda?
Yeah,
oh, it's first ever. Panda politics. This changes everything.
Okay.
Or nothing.
Actually, very interesting.
Why are we using an animal as political?
Wait, why? But they're doing I don't know. And it's more political because they're taking them for a reason. But
also, these things are endangered as shit, right?
They are.
Like they won't even have sex. Well, let's put them on an airplane and see if they're not traumatized enough, and we'll actually have sex after that. Yeah. Like,
including the U.S., 23 countries have pandas on loan from China. Scotland is going minus 2 pandas in December. Australia's only got 2 more pandas for 1 more year. If they don't renew their contract, Australia's going to have no pandas. So,
again, we have cameras and internet. Take them back to their home country. Give them a very wildish enclosure. Call it good.
Yeah. So, yeah, no more pandas.
Yeah, they should get rid of zoos anyway that are in profit.
I didn't know anything about this. This is interesting to me just because I didn't know this was the whole thing. Certainly not a political tool that was going on.
Everything's political. Come on.
Is Taylor Swift political?
100%.
All right.
All right, next article.
And you were not supposed to say the name on the show.
Euro News. Ukraine braces itself for report on EU membership bid.
I'm not familiar with this website. I think Mike may have found this one.
Yeah,
what are they bidding for?
It didn't say that one, so it must have been a third-party news. But Euro News, that's probably just some website over there. Weird. I don't think this is the same one. Anyway, Ukraine's been trying to get in the EU. I'm not actually not. This isn't what I posted, so we can probably skip this one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Ukraine was in the European Union, but I guess they're not.
No.
Okay.
In fact, that's what kind of the fight was about. Was Russia doesn't want them to join the EU?
Yeah, they
signed it. That was they don't want them to join the UN.
UN, yes.
That's different. Okay, NATO and UN are different from EU.
Yeah.
EU is just like I thought that's just like an agreement. But isn't this just an agreement to use the same currency or some shit?
I think so, yeah.
It's like a trade agreement more than anything.
Yeah.
And shared laws, probably.
But yeah, we can honestly just skip over this one if you guys want.
Yeah, I'm down for skipping that.
It was something else, but sometimes things happen.
Yeah, I just don't know anything about what joining the EU would even mean. None of us are Europeans, unless... Does Hamuto, do you count as European?
Yes.
Okay, what is this? Does this mean anything to you?
I don't have a fucking clue.
So, like, you're still in the same boat as us. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, so even if Bermuda, like, if Bermuda's in the EU, I don't see you.
I don't think Bermuda would be. Is it? I mean, isn't England's on the EU anymore? Is it?
I think they signed out. Wasn't that Scotland? I don't know.
Like Brexit,
I don't remember.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think that was Scott. I don't remember. It was a while ago. So much is going on in the world, we can't keep up with everything, you know.
It's not in the list according to gov.uk.
Yeah, it used to be in the EU, but then remember the whole Brexit thing? And that was I'm leaving. So, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, this would put Ukraine in a good position. I mean, to not be reliant on other trade partners. This would give you guaranteed trade partners. That's all I've got on this. But we're going to stick with Ukraine as the topic, but we're going to switch to Al Jazeera for this one.
Okay.
Mike?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just... Ukraine orders investigation after Russian attack on brigade ceremony. President Vladimir Zelensky promises complete truth after least soldiers killed. in Russian missile attack.
So aren't they at war?
Yes, they're at war. Yeah, so and it says
so
they killed
Russia killed soldiers. So why are we talking about it?
Because there was a ceremony, but I don't know if that's off limits. Like there's a you should first of all.
Oh, okay, yeah. This what I don't know what this is.
But it doesn't really matter. Like you're at war. Like you don't like, and that's a thing with nowadays. Is like I don't know.
Yes and no, but aren't there like rules of engagement? Like there are certain things that you.
Yeah, there's war. Yeah, but that's not a war crime. I'm pretty sure that is not.
Okay, so
I mean, let's find out.
Yeah, in the article they're saying award ceremony as another word for the brigade ceremony. So it's where they're basically awarding medals and stuff, medals for soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
I assume that's not a valid military target, but I don't really know because the presence of soldiers may make it a valid target.
Yes, then that's. And who knows? Did they kill any other people? The 9 civilians were killed. So.
Yeah, it says 9 civilians were also injured in the attack.
But that's I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. From what I heard is that they were tweeting that they're going to meet up somewhere, and all the people were tweeting that all these high-end people are going to be over there. So they shouldn't be tweeting or Xing, whatever you want to call it, where the location is going to be.
Well, I mean, if it's a fair target to hit, they shouldn't tweet that. But if it's supposed to be a target you can't hit, then
even then, war
would
is
that matter?
war.
I mean,
no, war is not war though. That's why there are war crimes. Like it's
yeah.
There are certain things you have to follow, or else it's just gonna.
But is that considered? We don't know if that's a war crime or not yet.
Yeah, we don't. But when you say war is war, that just opens up. But that opens up a whole can of worms.
Israel's not getting in trouble, and they're killing 10,000 Palestinians.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many they're killing. Yes. They're killing them in war.
Yes.
But war is not war in the way that you're using it. There's war, and then there's I'm just going to go ahead and destroy everything you have right there and then because I can.
Yeah.
It's two different things.
Well, yeah, it's called crimes against humanity, war crimes. But to Mike's point, who holds anyone accountable?
Russia.
And his example, Israel is doing war crimes. That's recognized by the international community at this point. But nobody's holding them to account. So are they really crimes? I don't know.
They're not holding them to an account because of the team that they're on, right? The team that, as far as like Russia and Ukraine, everything is a war crime from Russia, basically.
Yeah.
It's
even Russia's not being, but nobody's holding Russia to. Like they're not putting Russia on trial either.
That story we did a few days ago with the 2 soldiers in Russia that got taken by the Russian government, and they're being charged for killing 9 Ukrainian civilians.
Yes, I remember that.
Right, so not saying Russia's the good guys again, but I think they're trying to play as best by the rules as they can. You know, like not that they have been completely. We looked into, we saw that, but I think they are.
Oh yeah, there's a very long Wikipedia article of several incidents where they're not, but
yes, but I'm thinking they're trying their best, and they could be wrong, but
I mean, you need to probably do some reading though.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what I'm saying. I'm not 100% sure, but they did charge anyway. Is it a crime? Is it a war crime to attack something like that? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I think that's less important than is any war crime ever been? Has anyone ever been held to account for a war crime ever?
Now all the old Nazis that are 90 years old.
The Nuremberg trials is the only one. That's it. So it kind of sucks because these things are happening, but nobody actually does anything.
I normally never hear about people committing war crimes post-war, and never people being held accountable for their war crimes after war, never during war or what the actual repercussions are of, committing the said war crime while war is happening.
Yeah.
Because if there's going to be repercussions after, what's the point? It's more so to, avoid it post-war. Because if they commit the war crimes and end up winning, you can't hold them to anything. Yeah, it's just that simple. But during war is when it's important for them to be held accountable for it. Like, if you're just going to go and flatten them, then that's also... It's a tough thing.
Well, how are you imagining the holding account is happening? Like, what does that mean to you?
I genuinely don't even know.
Does it mean a military response? Does it mean an economic response?
I would think an economic response would be the first route to go, and if nothing changes, a military response. But then that might mean that you're at that point also committing a war crime to counter people committing war crimes, and they'll just cover it up as them saying, "Oh well, they did it, so we're just gonna do what we can to stop them from doing it again." But you're doing it yourself. I don't know. I don't really know how to.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting though, because here in America, if you believe that Israel should be held to economically for their war crimes and their human atrocities, you're considered anti-Semitic. You're considered bad. There's a movement here called BDS that actually there's some states where you have to disavow BDS, like to even be hired as a teacher. It's state level law. You have to sign a form saying you'll never support BDS, which is holding Israel to economically account for their human atrocities. That's what BDS is asking for. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, in America, we're kind of policing the free speech as far as that's concerned. Even though holding them to economically account would be your preferred choice to militarily holding them to account. Mine too. Of course it would. Mine too. But, war dogs can say whatever they want here. War hawks are fine. Wanting to blow people up is actually completely fine to say here.
People don't understand
you can get a job everywhere still here.
A constraint, a financial downside or downfall or something can be. Like, it's a massive constraint. If you don't have the finances for things, you can't get stuff. It's that easy.
And strategic trade partners can be huge, especially if you're getting 50% of something from someone. Exactly. That's huge amount of leverage somebody could have over another nation just through economics. And, to kind of bring this full circle back to the Russia story, at the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine thing, there was a thought that Russia would be able to be held to economically account. It hasn't come through, though, because they seem to be sufficient enough in everything that they need and or with their trade partners, because they still maintain trade relations with many nations. People were predicting they wouldn't be fine, but we're like a year into it now.
Yeah,
I think those predictions were wrong.
2 years and 2 years will be.
As much as that sucks, I mean, I kind of wish they would run out of steam, because that's another war that. At some
point, right?
Russia.
It's got to just end at some point.
Russia. You know what Russia does, right? Like, I think I said this.
I would say Russia is equipped to go to war with them for years. Like we're in Afghanistan for how long? 20 years.
20.
Russia can do that.
Russia's game for the entire history. USSR going back to hundreds of years. What Russia does is they just get 1,000 men and they line them up in a row and they tell them to go, run straight forward. And once those 1,000 go, they get another 1,000 people and tell those 1,000 to go. And they send 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Sooner or later, the enemy runs out of their end. Poof. Yes, thousands of Russians died, but now they got that territory. I'm pretty sure they lost like 16 million men World War II because of that. That's how they did it.
I think you're incorrect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
With what?
That's not the military strategy of the USSR or Russia.
Yeah, that's how they've been doing it. That's how they've always done it, right?
The one nugget of truth you have in there, they did lose the most of any other nation in World War II. They lost the most people. But it wasn't because they were shoving line after line after line towards people.
Well, not exactly like that.
It completely disregards the cut and burn campaign that they perform that made them victorious in the winter. I don't know if you've not read enough World War II history, but shoving them forward was never, that's not a thing.
Oh, they have. Okay, you're not exactly like that, but that's what they. Russia just had so many people. They just kept pushing. Like, they had so many people that they would not stop. Like, there's no way to stop them. They just had so many people. They get killed. They just put another man there. And that's how they won the war. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just never ran out of people.
Yes, but the military strategy was much more than just numbers.
Oh, yeah, that's anyone.
It has to be more than just
numbers. It was weather, it was terrain. They were fighting on their own home turf in winter. fighting Russia in winter in Russia,
In
like
Russia.
like
It's not easy. You're not.
to just
you're not
it was just surely a numbers campaign is just not true. Their military strategy did matter. They took the brunt of the damage, though. That's for sure.
Ironically, I have a Russia history book right here that I guess I will pick up and start reading.
Yeah, do it. I don't know which period it'll cover, but it should be interesting.
Here,
either way.
let me get it.
But if it doesn't go into detail about the burn and run strategy, that would be shocking to me because that's I learned that in school. That's not even something that they don't tell you in school. Like you burn all your crops and then you leave, so that Germany doesn't the land that they gained means nothing because it's burned to the ground. Nothing. Yeah, the turn and burn strategy is just huge. You know, the gaining ground soldiers couldn't maintain supplies.
From 1812 to 1945.
Holy cow, that's a lot of history.
Yeah, it is.
You're going to get a lot of different governments, a lot of different people in power. Because historically, they've changed a lot. What they're currently like is nothing like the Soviets.
Yeah.
Like the USSR and modern-day Russia are totally different forms of government, even.
Okay.
Like the way they do elections, the way they legislate is changed drastically. So that should be a fun book. It'll be really boring, though.
Oh,
I recommend videos.
I'm not gonna read the whole thing. So.
Yeah, I recommend videos of people who have already like digested the material and can break it down into like digestible amounts.
Okay. Well, I think
But yeah, I mean, this is a good question though of whether or not it's gonna ever have any follow up to it. I predict no follow up because even if it is or isn't, the follow up is the question. Like, if it's a war crime, I have the same opinion on the follow up. If there will be any, as if it's not a war crime, it's just feel like no one's gonna care.
Of course not.
You know, obviously it's a pot shot. We can all see it's a pot shot. They were giving medals out to soldiers. They obviously weren't looking to defend from a bomb, and so it's a cheap shot, Vladimir, and that's all we can really say. Yeah, sorry, Zelensky, we can't help you.
Okay.
Unless Canada wants to go to there, I think we all agreed we don't want to go to that war. But all right, we have one more Ukraine story here.
Yeah, let's keep going with Ukraine tonight.
This one comes from CNN.
So, now we're going to want to talk about with live grenade and birthday gift kills aide to Ukraine's military chief.
That is crazy.
That's outrageous.
But before we move on here, what do you think happened?
It looks like they intended to kill someone.
Birthday?
Yeah.
And they gave them a grenade and a birthday gift.
They tried to kill him.
There.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, I did pre-read this one, but let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody tried to assassinate him.
Yeah.
And rigged the grenade to open, pull the pin as you open the box. And of course, your aide opens your mail and suspicious packages. So an aide unfortunately got killed. Is my prediction.
Okay, let's scroll down and see. The shame.
Okay, Shastyakov had received a gift box that included alcohol, 6 grenades. Okay, I didn't realize we were talking about 6 of them. That kind of would have changed my prediction.
That's overkill. That's overkill.
Wait, what's the grenade,
story, guys? Yeah,
the birthday present? Is that what this is saying?
Yes.
So an aide to the commander-in-chief of Ukraine's military was killed as a birthday present that was immediately detonated by his 13-year-old.
Whoa!
A kid immediately grabbed it and said, "Ooh, toy!"
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh no. So Chastyukov's 13-year-old son then picked up one of the grenades and started turning the ring. As Shastyakov took the grenade from him, the ring was pulled out and a weapon detonated.
Oh no.
Yeah. Shitty situation.
Oh no. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought was happening at all.
Oh wow.
Not even close.
Grenades do not make good birthday presents. No. I don't care if you're a military commander person.
And okay, cool, but why would you let the kid get near it?
Yeah, and this Major Gennady Chastyakov is the assistant who died. His it says that the assistant's son was also seriously injured by the explosion and is being treated. So, yeah, why would you let your kid near that? I don't know.
That's
Maybe you didn't know what it was before you open it, and it's just so quick. It maybe happened really quick.
But then again,
You know?
13-year-old kid should know better not to pick up a like. When I was 13, I didn't even have the internet, and I knew what a grenade.
If you saw that in your house, would you think it was real?
I wouldn't immediately pull the pin. Like,
That's not what he did, though.
I'm saying if Dustin brought
He
me
started
something
chucking
that
the
looked
ring.
like a grenade. Yeah, and then somebody snatched it from him. But like, if Dustin brought me something that looked like a grenade, I'd be like, oh, that shit's not real.
yeah, well, maybe you should not think that anymore.
Well, maybe not. Maybe
So-
people think that that's a good birthday gift when it's
No.
really fucking not.
Look, we're not the assistant to the Ukraine military chief commander. Like, I'm not gonna get a birthday present. It's gonna happen. So,
Anyway, I saw this and I thought it was an unreal story. It's crazy. Like, that's
The
unfortunate.
headline and the
Yeah.
story was not
Again,
what I was
yeah. Oh,
not
yeah.
expecting the story to be that.
They did that on purpose. They 100% did that on purpose. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's clickbait again. But yes,
that's good clickbait.
That was-
I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie, that's good.
no, like, yeah. So that's just insane. He saved his son's life. He saved his son's life because of it.
so this is the commander in chief, the assistant worked for. This
And
may
he
have been
was
who.
a close friend.
Yeah, so this was the, I guess, intended gift receiver. So I mean, it definitely wasn't an assassination attempt. This was a gift.
Wasn't it
A
the
bottle of
assistant's
alcohol and
birthday?
6
Wasn't it
grenades.
the assistant's birthday? That's who his birthday was.
I think it was the assistant's birthday,
Yes, because it was his kid was at his
and
birthday
then
party.
his son got hold of the grenade.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yes.
I still don't understand how his son got the grenade in his hand. Like, I'm trying to figure that out.
Maybe
and I
like
just-
maybe yeah. His dad opened it up. Oh, great! Kid was like, oh, sweet mine. Click. Boom. Boom.
Looks like the daughter also suffered some injuries. I guess he has 4 children, so 2 of the children are hurt.
That's unfortunate, and they had to be there. That's super sad.
But
play with grenades.
It's
Do not.
such a weird gift, though.
Grenades are not a good gift. Weapons.
I mean, it's
are-
weird for us, but it might not be weird for them.
Yeah, but again,
Here's
But,
the
like-
other question though: is the story of it being an accident a cover up?
no, I don't think so.
What do you
I don't want
mean?
to dig that deep into it. It scares me.
That seems
Right.
they would have killed everybody there. They wouldn't leave any witnesses.
Right.
No,
But
no,
let's
They
say
don't want-
somebody was trying to assassinate him, and they don't want to look weak in front of Russia or something or whatever.
Exactly. So they
Yeah,
made it
yeah,
seem
yeah.
like it was an accident that it blew up.
But
Yeah.
it was,
That's
Oh,
why I
got
he
the
just
assistant.
gave me
but
grenades.
it was
It's
an
no big deal.
assistant. Why killing? What does killing the assistant do? You know, like
Well, the
Well, no,
assistant
no,
and
no.
obviously the commander in chief would be there,
he wasn't there.
Right.
considering
No?
they said they
Like,
were close friends.
does it?
He
Or
Was
wasn't
his
he
there at
son
all.
even. Or his son even.
Yeah.
Killing somebody's family member is sometimes a tactic.
I mean, he's also a major. He has a title.
Right.
Yeah, we all use the word assistant as if he's not. I forgot about that.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
is a major.
He's a major.
But,
yeah,
I
maybe.
mean,
Maybe.
they could.
You always
You're
call
right,
me up
though.
for being conspiracist, and look at you go. You know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm
you know,
just throwing that
every
out
single
there.
time you're like, oh, you're on your conspiracy again, and now
I-
I'm like, yeah, let's
I
see,
didn't
like,
even say
Okay,
that's
so
what I
the
did.
Western
I just
model
said, what
grenades.
if?
It could be.
I don't know. We
Maybe
gave a
it
lot of
was.
those out in the 70s.
But that seemed okay. How would they get the kid to grab the grenade and turn it and boom? Because there is other witnesses that saw him do it. So not like he opened it and went boom. It opened
Sometimes
up
a cover up has a lot of witnesses that say
the
something.
daughter. You think the
specific.
daughter who got injured? Everyone else is there.
I'm not saying I
don't
think.
know.
I'm just saying. Does anybody else think that they're I don't take these kinds of things at face value. I'm just saying. I don't know. Dick Cheney shot somebody while hunting, and I don't think that was an accident. That's all I'm saying.
Look, this is the first time I've ever known the name of interior minister, and that's where all this is coming from. And that's all Jays is saying, really, is that how well do you know Ihor Klemenko? Do you know anything about Ihor Klemenko?
No, but
I know
His name
nothing.
is Ihor Klemenko.
But according to him, This kid pulled the grenade out of the box as soon as the box opened, I guess, and then started turning the ring. And I guess everyone's response to him playing with it was to yank it away from him. But I'm sitting here thinking, if you're turning the ring, your finger's inside the ring. If you yank it away,
that's not a clever thing to do.
You're pulling the pin out by taking the grenade from the kid.
And this
like
is
the kid didn't pull it out, you
know
basically
better.
did. So yeah, you say like the kid should know better,
but the
Chuck's job should know better.
Okay, maybe because you know what? Grenades don't go off because if you pull it, it's the pin's out, but it's not triggered until you let go.
That depends on if you're holding on to a thing.
Yeah, but if he grabbed it from the kid, he would have had it like that, and
you're assuming the kid is holding it in the right way to hold a grenade. The kid is not holding it the right way.
Exactly. If he's holding the ring, you have to squeeze it to I don't know. But I don't throw grenades.
I don't know. It's something about.
All I know is that yanking it out of his hand is a terrible idea when he's playing with the part that it coming out of the other part starts stuff off, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but also, yeah, it's a fucking grenade. Who gives that as a gift? That's a terrible gift.
Commanders do.
What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with 6 grenades, Mike?
It's a Western model grenade, though.
This is worse than
something special.
This is worse than the rack that Wayne got in Wayne's World. The hunting rack.
I haven't watched that in like some odd 30 years. I don't know.
What am I going to do with a hunting rack? I don't even own a gun, let alone miniguns, which would necessitate an entire rack.
But yeah, some moral like story is don't play with weapons. Don't give weapons as gifts. Like maybe not. I don't want to say that.
I wouldn't say don't give weapons.
Don't give grenades as gifts. Don't give
just
grenades.
Maybe only for White Elephant.
Or White Elephant, yeah. Or maybe put it up high and tell them like this is after the kids go to bed gift. You know, like
13-year-olds can be tall.
Yeah. Or this is after the kids go to bed gift. That's it. Yeah.
I suppose.
Do we have one more story?
We do indeed have one more. Actually, we have 2 more stories.
Do we?
We have a breaking news story.
Oh. Well,
hopefully you saw that got added to the end. But before that, CNN brings us this one. Our favorite airline stories. Wheelchair passenger says he had to drag himself off Air Canada plane. Oh, that's not our usual kind of story, Mike. What?
No, it's changed.
No poop.
No, we do miserable air
This
travel
is
stories.
airlines treating somebody poorly.
So
it sounds
I
like.
hate Air Canada. I'm not a big fan of Air Canada. Air Canada
really?
loses.
I kind of like Air Canada.
No, Air Canada is maybe in the east it's better, but the west Air Canada sucks. I've never had anything but issues. They lose luggage. They overbook their planes. They
lose luggage.
Yeah,
I've lost luggage twice.
Oh, that's
like their second job. They
Air Canada.
Like 2 things. They're supposed to get me there and get my stuff there.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
No,
that's like half of their job.
Yeah, no,
they suck at it.
It's not a great airline. I'm not a big fan of it.
Well, sounds like you shouldn't necessarily be. We've got a story here about Rodney Hodge, who cannot walk, and he says he had to drag himself off the plane with the help of his wife. I guess they wouldn't bring him assistance?
Yeah, it was his wheelchair. They had to put it underneath, right?
Well, they have wheelchairs.
They have wheelchairs there. Yeah, they can help him in a wheelchair. They have people for that.
All right, so it says Hodgins, a wheelchair user, says he had to drag himself along the aisle by his wife when mobility assistance staff from the airport didn't turn up to assist him. It says Air Canada staff instructed him to disembark on foot, despite the fact that he can't.
Hey, can you just walk? Yeah.
Yikes.
Like,
did they say on foot? Oh my! I hope somebody's got a clip of them saying if they literally said it that way to somebody who can't do it on foot. Like, come on.
Yeah,
assholes.
That's he has cerebrally. I can't say that. My God. Cerebral
spastic cerebral palsy. Cerebral. Yeah. So he can support his own weight, but cannot move his leg.
And
but so he needs assistance.
Yeah, you can't walk down the aisle. That's hard. Like
I thought airplanes generally had wheelchair accessible chairs or seats available.
They do usually at the front, and you usually book in first, and they actually have because they'll probably need to put his wheelchair underneath, which is scary anyway because you get off your wheelchair and you expect them to bring it down the airplane. I wouldn't trust it for Air Canada, but they're supposed to be able to wheel you to the plane. Then you get on you're one of the first people on the airplane.
It says this gentleman generally needs 2 or 3 members of mobility assistance staff to help him in the aisle chair. And it says they informed Air Canada ahead of time. They booked with the assistants alongside the flights 8 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
Way ahead of time. The first flight went according to plan. It's the second one where they had problems. So they literally went through with the right thing to do on the first leg of the trip.
Yeah.
And so they know what they did was wrong then, right?
Well, they have to be, yeah, for sure. But then reality hit me, yeah.
So yeah, then reality hit. At about 20 minutes after landing, while they were 12 seats watching the power chair being removed from the hold and brought up to the jet bridge, a male flight attendant walked over and asked them to walk to the front of the plane. The reason? They needed to prepare for the next flight.
Yeah.
We thought he was kidding at first because everyone was in such a good mood.
Now, before this, maybe the guy who asked thought they were just sitting there still. Like, that's a small maybe, but maybe he's like, why are you still on the plane? Get off, guys, right?
So he was the flight attendant. He was there the whole flight.
Okay,
he saw my husband be brought on the flight with an aisle chair. So we laughed, thinking it was absurd. But the flight attendant wasn't joking. He insisted that the plane had to turn around and had another flight, and we needed to get off.
Yeah.
We started panicking. We were like, what do you mean we have to get off? We can't. His wheelchair's out on the jetway. We didn't know how we were going to do that. They say the flight attendant continued to insist. They tried pointing out Hodgins couldn't walk. They say one person arrived for mobility assistance to help with the aisle chair. The only person during the incident to treat them kindly, they say. But one person's not enough. They set up above. He needed 2 to 3.
Big fella. Like, he's not
and
big.
here's our guy here. He's a big boy.
He's probably 220, 240 pounds, right? Yeah. Like,
yeah.
He's not light. He's not like. You need 2 or 3 people for sure. Yeah, not 4.
Yep.
That's insane. Like, Air Canada should be.
I've radioed twice. There's no one here. He told them.
So the chapter's like, we just can't find anybody else.
Dang.
Well, then, what do you want me to do? Like.
So the couple decided to wait, assuming somebody else would eventually turn up. Meanwhile, the cleaning crew worked their way down the plane, and cabin crew appeared to be discussing what to do with the pilot's staff. So they were going about like they were going to just do the next part of their flight. They were just business as usual. Like,
okay, cool. No, they clean it up, and wait till they get out of the way. Wait till the chair gets there. Move them, help them get to the chair, and then clean the rest of the plane. Like, that's 100% Air Canada. They should be. The guy should charge them for embarrassment. Like, that's not embarrassment, but there's a charge you can charge a company. I forget what it's called,
but he made it to the front of the airplane, but when he got there was nothing more for him to hold on to. So the assistant staff said, "Oh, there's nobody here," and then just took off and didn't bring the chair.
Apparently, yeah. And so they called for the staffer with the aisle chair to bring it. He'd been sitting further back in the plane as they struggled with the front. Managed to maneuver Rodney into it with the help of Dina. He got off the plane and into his power chair, which had been waiting for them at the aircraft door the whole time.
Bruh, up.
So he was physically exhausted after having to get off this airplane.
That's insane. They should be charged.
That's ridiculous.
They should not, and they can offer him a voucher. Oh, you get 2 free flights. No,
bro, he couldn't even get in the shower for 3 days.
Well, yeah, because he put himself through something he shouldn't do to get him out of the situation. Like, he did that because he had to.
It's not like we walk and move around every day. He's in a chair, so he doesn't get much. He doesn't get much exercise. Like, I'm sure he does some exercise, but that's insane. Air Canada should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, I'm sure this one's going to be a lawsuit because
I'm
pretty sure that ADA, they landed in the United States. ADA says they have to have certain they have to provide it.
And making his wife be the one to have helped him out there, she doesn't look like she should be the one having to lift him. She's not a lifter.
Yeah, she probably does help.
But still, she probably helps as much as she can, but it should not be the expectation, especially not when you book 8 months ahead of time and say you need these accommodations.
There's more staff there that could help. They just choose not to.
They had 8 months notice to be ready for this.
Exactly. You know what? If that was why didn't they go outside? Hey, can we get anybody's help? I guarantee 9 out of 10 people in that airport would go out of the way and help them. Because that's how people are.
Oh yeah.
Not 9 out of 10, but if I got I'm not a big guy, but if I got told, I was like, okay, let's go help him. for sure.
I might not know how to help, but
yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, if it's no burden to me, I probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
fuck,
the story,
fuck you,
not,
Canada.
and I'm gonna say this: do not fly Air Canada.
Yeah,
don't take Air Canada. WestJet, man.
I think Komodo disagrees on the don't fly.
To be fair, I've never lost luggage on WestJet.
Yeah,
I'm be honest.
Southwest sucks,
but I do tend to enjoy my Air Canada flights though.
Yeah.
There's just something about them; they feel comfy to me.
I guess. I don't know, but yeah, but yeah, okay.
I think that's all we got on the Air Canada story.
That's all I'm good.
And like I said, we do have one more story. It is breaking news. This came up actually 8:32 p.m. is when they posted this. SAG-AFTRA strike ends after tentative agreement approved. SAG-AFTRA strike halted Hollywood productions for more than 100 days.
So we're going to get our TV shows back.
So this, for anyone who doesn't know, SAG means Screen Actor Guild. So this is the actor portion of the strike. The writer portion already ended. This was the actor piece was still going.
Yeah, so the script's already written. They're going to start filming so much.
Did they get what they wanted?
That's a great question. A lot of the strikes we've been reading, that's what's been happening. So my prediction is yes. So it's a tentative agreement ending a 118-day strike. In a unanimous vote this afternoon, the SAG-AFTRA TV Theatrical Committee approved a tentative agreement with the AMPTP, bringing an end to the 118-day strike. I mean, saying there's a unanimous vote, it probably means they got everything they wanted, right? You don't unanimously have no dissenters if there's a reason to dissent. Okay, we know it ended. This article is very intent on letting you know it end. Because that's all they have to say. That's all they have to say.
Yeah, it just happened.
So, yeah. So,
well, that's good.
So, breaking news, they've got something, and I hope we have a follow-up so we can hear what the details are.
You know what? I'm missing a lot of shows. There's a lot of shows I do miss watching.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they reached an agreement, and hopefully it's a good one that means we all get good content.
Yeah. I don't have too much on the strike. What about you guys? Good news?
No, not really.
I'm glad that people are getting paid for the work they do. Like, specifically, like, on Netflix, the royalties were ridiculous. Like, the Orange is the New Black ladies were getting, like, 15 cents in, like, a year of residuals.
Oh, yeah, even though they made, like, the biggest show Netflix has had since they've been made, other than maybe Stranger Things.
I'm happy for what they were striking for, and I'm hoping that they got everything they wanted.
Yep. My mom doesn't like you, and she likes everyone.
That's from I know that from a song. I think it's a Justin Bieber song.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Isn't that Baby?
But yeah,
you know.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, a big part of these strikes was making sure that people get for those streaming platforms, and I think AI was also considered in a lot of these contracts. So hopefully they got that. I know when we looked at the auto worker strikes, they got the COLA that we were talking about, them insisting on getting that cost of living adjustment. They got COLA. They got that shit. All of them. Every single one of them. So unions are good. I like unions. I think it sucks that America has so few of them now.
The only thing I have to add is I'm looking at the weather, and the blue area has moved over, so I assume it's snowing outside.
Yeah, we're getting probably snow tonight. At the very least, cold rain.
Snow.
It's actually very warm where I am right now.
It's also like wintry mixed stuff, so it's not the fun kind of snow.
Good news is we don't have to drive anywhere, so we should be safe.
It's true.
For sure. Well, thank you everybody who is watching and who is watching later on. Appreciate it. Himoto, have anything to say before we jet out here?
Not really. But as always, swizzle in, swagger out.
Are you gonna be here Friday?
I'm gonna try.
Right, okay. Just checking. We're just our guests will miss you. They missed you last Friday. You should have. They're all asking about you. It's like they were worried. But it's okay.
You were missed.
Yeah. Jace.
You'll get no catchphrases from me.
Okay.
That's a catchphrase.
It's actually great.
Justin.
I just want to thank everybody watching us here live. Thank all my co-hosts joining us here tonight. I didn't expect to have everybody here. It's kind of nice. Want to thank everybody watching later on the YouTubes or else on our socials. Make sure you click all those buttons. We want you to click everything. And I watch those comments, so leave me one. And this has been the way to get me out.
Sure, thank you. And thank you everybody for being here. It was always great banter. And like Dustin said, please click all the buttons. If you haven't followed us already on Kick, give us a follow. It helps us grow. The more we grow, the more we can do. We're also on Facebook, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, and we're on YouTube. So please go follow, like, subscribe, or whatever it is. And we post everything on there. TikTok's not that busy yet, but I'll figure out how to use it.
Yep, this one's new. I don't know if Himoto, if you'd known we added this. We've got TikTok now.
Yeah. Love that.
Yep.
Now, if you want to be on the show, definitely you can drop us a line. Also on our website, borderlinebanter.com. You can just shoot us an email, give us your name, email. If there's a few questions, give them an answer, and we will get back to you. Like to have guests. Yeah, and as always, we also like to say it is okay not to be okay. If you're ever down and need someone to talk to, there are people who want to help. These people don't get paid. It's all volunteer, so you know they're actually there for you, not just for $1. In the States, it's 988. In Canada, it's 1-866-456-4566. Remember, it's okay. It's okay to talk to people. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to find someone to host. I hope you all have a great night. We will be back 7:30 p.m. GMT time on Friday. This is Borderline Banter. Enjoy.